This is my wonderful wife, Kim Young-hee, or Kim. It's because of her that I'm alive. It's because of her that I'm here. I'll be forever grateful to her. And the rest of my life will be dedicated to her and living as long and healthy as I can. Hi, my name is Roberto Torres. I live in Savannah, Georgia. I was diagnosed with renal cell carcinoma, which is basically kidney cancer of my left kidney, in December of 2017. And that diagnosis is very difficult. Your world just comes apart whenever you're diagnosed with something like that. I didn't know how to take it. I didn't know how to handle it. We just put all our faith in conventional therapy, thinking that that would be the best way to go. We trusted our doctors, had a great support system from my wife, and they did a surgery. They removed my tumor. It wasn't stage 4. It hadn't spread yet, but it was very big and in very close proximity to a lot of my internal organs, like my stomach, my diaphragm, my colon, and it was only a matter of time before the cancer spread to those areas. So less than a month later, they insisted on removing the kidney, doing the surgery, removing the kidney, the tumor, and my spleen and my adrenal gland, just take everything out. And then they put me on a chemo pill. And this was a pretty reputable, pretty big place near Atlanta, several branches all over the US. We had complete faith that this was going to work. And 3 months later, while on the chemo, the tumor recurred. And not only did it come back, but it was bigger and growing faster than the original. So they switched me off of the chemo that I was on to something they call immunotherapy, which is not a natural way like they do here at Hope4Cancer. My recurrent tumor continued to grow. I was having a lot of pain on my left side because of the pressure on my diaphragm. Even my breathing was limited. Couldn't take a deep breath, couldn't sneeze, didn't think I would ever be able to do that ever again. And when they decided to switch me off of the immunotherapy medication because I was having a lot of the side effects, my beautiful wife has been researching places throughout many months that I'd been diagnosed and on the chemo, and it was between this place, Hope4Cancer, and another clinic here in Tijuana, and I said, let's do it. Let's go for Hope4Cancer. I like what I see. I like Dr. Antonio Jimenez and all the videos that he's got out, and we came here. When we arrived here, we were a little bit taken aback, thinking this would be some kind of modern, super medical center, but it's not. But it doesn't matter. You don't judge a book by its cover, because what's inside of these walls is nothing but love and science-based therapies and just wonderful things that they're doing for people. After day 1, we knew this was the place for us. This was it. We knew it. Somebody, something, God, whatever, brought us here for a reason, and this was the place for us. And after the third day, the heat therapy was what seemed to affect me the most. They have these hyperthermia ovens that you basically crawl into. They have these near-infrared saunas that are just fantastic. And in one of those, I had a breakthrough. I suddenly could fill my lungs with oxygen, and I felt I can breathe again. And that was after day 3. I told everybody, and I couldn't believe it. And slowly after that, it was just, every day it was just better and better and better. Color came back to my face. I was pale, ashen, just devoid of any spunk, of any, fire. There's so many therapies here at Hope for Cancer, so many. We were working all day in, day out, from 6 in the morning till 10 in the evening. We took advantage of every single therapy that you can here. And it was just miraculous. It's hard to believe, even when we left here, the recovery and how well I'm doing. Once we left, they do an ultrasound. They do one before you enter and after. And they had noticed that my tumor had reduced in size by about 25% just with the 3 weeks of being here. And that was great news for us. I felt good, I felt strong, I was able to go back to work. And it just made me more healthy. And when we were about to return, we had to get another scan back home. We didn't really care about what the results would say. We knew I was feeling great. And I was feeling strong, and what better than that? You know, you can't get any better than that. And it was a complete surprise when my oncologist back home discovered that there was no trace of the recurrent tumor. They just couldn't find it. The PET scan, which shows activity, showed none. We couldn't believe it. We were in shock. And when we came here, they did an ultrasound and same results. No signs of any cancer. They couldn't detect anything. And still yet, we couldn't buy it. We didn't buy it. Neither did my wonderful doctor here, which is Dr. Quintana, which is just wonderful. He said, let's do one more test, an MRI, just to satisfy any doubts that we may have. And miraculously, nothing. It's amazing, and I try to spread the word to everybody that I can that chemo, radiation, and surgery are not your only options. There are so many other things available that are equally effective, if not more so, and they just want you to be healthy. And a healthy body can do wonders. It can fight cancer. It can cure anything. God has given us the tools to live. And for anybody who is struggling to decide where to go or what to do, I strongly recommend coming to Mexico without any reservations. Everything they do here is science-based, worldwide. Had I known more, I probably would have come here sooner, but not knowing and so afraid, we chose to trust, American medicine, and it just didn't work. Nothing bad about that. They do help millions of people, but for me, it just didn't work. And I know for a lot of people, it doesn't. And if you're looking for a great alternative and a natural alternative, you have to look this place up. Hope for Cancer is just amazingly wonderful, and I'll sing its praises for the rest of my life.